and I always ask, like,
has she ever positioned herself as hood?
I mean,
or outspoken?
Have you seen how
passionate?
Well, that's why I said I'm only using the quote on paper. That's why I said, why do you think you're more hood?
Well,
Because
I mean, dude, I grew up in a legit hood, right, of Queens. Like, that's what we would call the hood, right, in that part of Queens. Obviously, New Yorkers are gonna come from like, that ain't no hood, George. I'm like, okay, at that point in time, it was. Today, it is not, right? It is gentrified, right? And priced us all out of there. Yep. So that's Jackson Heights in a nutshell. But Jasmine comes from a very affluent family. She's very accomplished. She's a scholar. She's a well-accomplished civil rights attorney. She puts this persona of knowing street life when I know she doesn't. We all know she doesn't. So that comment was alluded to that. And look, I go back and forth with Jasmine, and I'll do it any day of the week. I don't hate her, don't get me wrong, but I just thought it was like, it's funny.
Do you consider yourself the Kanye West of politicians?
No, I hate him.
I mean, just like to stand out, how he stands out.
I absolutely hate Kanye. And it's funny because one of my favorite raps of all time is Monster. And
I heard you can recite a verse. I was going to ask you to recite. I heard famously you can recite a verse to the song.
Because I'm such a barb, right?
Okay.
And I love Nicki. But I used to love the song, and I can't even bring myself to listen to it anymore. I just like have such a disconnect with Kanye. Whatever Kanye is doing these days is just so non-representative of anything I believe in.
Is that because of what he said about Jewish people? And
I
you
mean,
said
dude,
you're
he's
Jewish?
rocking a straight up swastika. Like, that's awful.
So do you identify as Jewish?
No, I never identified as Jewish. I'm Jewish.
You've been on camera saying you're Jewish.
No, he said that though.
I said ish.
Because you know I heard that. I swear to God, I was talking
to.
I'm
a Jew.
No. I said I'm Jewish. It's always been ish.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you something.
The video says it. Like after all, I am.
No, I saw the video. Said I'm a Jew.
I don't know about that. You got to look.
Pull that up.
Pull that up.
But I got you.
But so my thing is this: is that I want to ask a couple more questions. Why do you think? How do you feel about DEI? Because obviously you're a gay man, and DEI is for,
I guess
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Giving everybody a leg up.
So
right?
how do you feel about all of the things happening with DEI? Because I'm not as mad at it. I kind of like I want what I want. I want what I want because it's for me. I don't want somebody to be forced, and I don't want to be forced. My whole staff is black. Imagine somebody coming in and telling me I got to hire somebody from another background. I'm like,
you got to hire a white
person. It's like, no. I'm like, I like my people around me, so I don't get mad at no one that acts like that. But like, what's your thoughts on everything happening with DEI? You too, Naja, because I'm like the way in. I want to know.
Naja, you want to go in first?
I feel like y'all talk about this. When I say the question, you look at me like, oh yeah.
So here's the thing. Your entire staff is people that you chose. Like, one thing that we know in this country, the color of most of us in here, including you, is it's based on a caste system, right? And those of us that are browner, darker, are at the bottom of the caste system.
True.
So it's a privilege and an honor for you to have this beautiful space and get to choose your people. There are spaces with so much privilege, power, access to the multi-billions of dollars that are out there, that investment money that we cannot get in. They would never allow us access, number one, because we do like working with people that we like.
For sure.
We like hooking our sisters and brothers up. We like cherry picking the people that have similar lived experiences to us. So that means people like, even though I might be highly qualified, I would not get access to those spaces simply because I'm not in that realm. I'm not in that circle. Yeah. So when I see what DEI did, and I think you're going to correct me if I'm wrong. You always do. No. But isn't the group that benefited the most from DEI, is that not white women? So
it was white women. That's correct.
Right. And so
it was women in general. So, but white women predominantly.
For sure, because there's, so when you see groups that have benefited from not being in particular spaces that are now turning their backs on the very thing that got them in the door, I got a major problem with that.
Got you.
So we might not have access to the Goldman Sachs class that they go and pick out of Harvard every single year to go and throw them $100,000 base salary and 200 bonus, because we ain't there. But then what about the guy from Baruch College or University of Tennessee?
I didn't go to Baruch. Don't look at me.
What about the guy that is equally as brilliant that does not have access to that? So, it gets kind of convoluted. We're going to see spaces becoming much, much, much wider.
Yeah.
That's what
I disagree,
Okay.
but here's my issue with DI. I like to know that anything that I've ever accomplished was on my own merits, not because of some quota. I think that takes away your merit, and I believe in meritocracy. So you're super accomplished. Not being a white man never stopped you. Might have made it a little harder, probably. And I don't know. I've never walked a day in your shoes, but you still did it.
Well, and
it feels much nicer.
I will say this. Let me say this. I wrote a letter in 2020 that kind of blackballed me from the music industry. It was called Dear White Music Execs. And it was just really telling white execs what it's like to be a black person. And it wasn't nothing accusatory. It was just simple as, hey, look, we're always taught to work twice as hard to make half as much, right? So how you smile, we've all been taught that as black people. It's just kind of giving you the stuff and I'm in the music business, there's not one black person in power. Everybody answers to a white person. So when you guys try to make us, because they was trying to get us to talk about George Floyd, and nobody wanted to talk about it. And I'm like, we're not gonna fuck our shit up. Like, black people know that this is a miracle that we're here. So of course I wrote that, and then all of a sudden, I was on the front cover of Billboard, and then I was being black. Basically, I got fucked in my contract, right? They told me, they usually tell you 6 months out, if you're gonna do this. They told me 10 months out, we only want you. And then 2 days before my contract ends, they say, we ain't got nothing for you. And they basically fucked me, right? So, but here's the part I wanna say. When I was on the phone with the DEI guy, I felt like I was talking to one of my boss's sons. I didn't feel like I was talking to somebody. It was like, yo, bro, this is what they doing to me. They did this and they make me feel like this. He's like, oh man, I gotta get into this. So who again? It's like, you know what? Fuck it. And by the way, I'm just as good as you. That's how I used to, you know what? Y'all think the politics is one thing. Let me show you, put a camera in my face. I could do that and be just as popular as an executive. So that's kind of why I did it. But my career got kind of cut short because I pissed some white people off. But
so did I.
But that's why I can relate to you. That's why I can relate to you.
I lasted a whole 11 months.
Exactly. But when I was talking to the DI guy, he really didn't, it was almost like, I was like, can I talk to their boss? Because I don't, and he was like, no, I don't work like that. Let me talk to your boss and see how they want me to handle you. And I'm like, motherfucker, what do you think they gonna do? I knew I was fucked, so that's why I'm against it, because I don't like falsehoods. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would much rather live next door to a redneck Republican who makes it known, wears his Confederate flag and makes it known who he is, than an undercover Democrat who's racist, who likes me being next door to them, but don't want my kids dating their kids, don't want me to make as much money as them. So it's all bullshit.
I'd rather black and white than gray. I'm right there with you.
I can read black and white easier than I can
black
read
and white
gray.
is easier to navigate than gray when you're just like, wait.
Yeah.
You ever see the post? The lady was like, bring back segregation. Did anybody see that?
Yeah. So what?
There was this chick that was like, bring back segregation.
On the train. What's good, everybody? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee. And if you were wondering who this beautiful woman sitting next to me is my sister Tiffany Daniels Sai. Let's give it up for my sister. Everybody can clap. This is good. And my sister she's the most talented person in the family, and we started a family business, a signature scent company. So if you smoke a lot of weed in your car and you want to get the scent out, you have to check out these scents. I know guys that use it for the weed. I know people that use it for cologne, and everywhere they go to get compliments. We make candles. We make
room sprays. We got them in kits. So if you want to buy something for your loved one or anybody that you care about, hit us up, LorraineCo.com.
We're gonna put the website at the bottom of it. But support this black business, support this black woman, and order. I promise you guys. As a matter of fact, use the word Gauds, and we'll give you 15% off. I just made that up, so if my sister face looks crazy, don't get mad at her. I'll eat that. But guys, when I tell you this shit is incredible, you really should check this out.
The best scents ever.
LorraineCo.com, and we'll put it at the bottom of the screen. Thank you.
Thanks.
On the train.
I love that.
She's a comedian in New York City. I was like, sis is on to something. She was like, bring it back. Because we need to know who does not want our dollars.
That's when Jay-Z said, turn the lights on. Let's find out let's let the roaches scatter. Let's see who's racist.
Yes.
Let's see who doesn't want our business. And to me, the world would be better if it was that way. So I'm okay with that. And I think that, to me, is like DEI just puts a Band-Aid over the real problem, which
when did Jay-Z say turn on the lights? Was that prior or after?
This like 2016, 17. No, this like 2016, 17. When
I have questions.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a better way, because there are just some spaces that we will not have access to, and that's pretty frightening. So